Hello everybody, it's me, Brosidon. Let's talk The Sinking City. Let me say straight off the bat that I have mixed feelings about this game. I still enjoyed it though. Let me tell you why that is. Right, so The Sinking City is first and foremost a janky ass piece of shit. I still like it way better than the other B-rated titles I've played though. Why, you might ask? Well, see, remember the Sherlock Holmes games? Yeah, the people that made those made this one as well. It is, however, quite the far cry from their other work, to be honest, but it retains enough of the trademarks to be apparent it's still the same team. Alright. The Sinking City is an interesting blend as it combines the detective work of Sherlock Holmes games with psychological cosmic horror. You play as this space cadet that's so spaced out even the sound doesn't match anymore. See, this is Cole Phelps. Oh, sorry. Wrong game. This is Charles Reed, a private eye from Boston that's haunted by visions and borderline schizophrenia. Every now and again, the game will remind you of this by shoving you into an overly long cutscene depicting how much of a mess this guy is. As you can probably tell, I meant it. This is overly long. Yep. I had to cut the rest of the cutscene because I couldn't stand it anymore. This is your weapon wheel. Yes, that's a brick, and you could chuck it at people's heads.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
You also have a camera that you can take photos with. It's gonna come in handy in later investigations and whatnot. And now I'm taking a picture of a squid.
Never trust
I
a
think.
tourist advertisement.
The game is set in the fictional city of Oakmont and is inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth. That's why you get shit like this coming at you every now and again. Oakmont is very well put together, even though a lot of the assets are reused over and over again. I've noticed that, and like about 2 hours since I started playing. But that's okay. It's a B-rated title, again, take it with a pinch of salt. Alas, Oakmont. Oakmont is kind of cool, actually. You see, there's a lot of paranormal activity going on. The sense of dread and, the oppressive atmosphere is there. And nothing is really as it seems. Check this interaction out.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
What do you think he means? He phrased it like that because his dad used to be an explorer, right? He was on an expedition in Africa, And I don't think I need to tell you more than that. As you can probably tell, this game is a third-person shooty bang bang at its core. Apart from that, you get a reasonably neat progression system to enhance your abilities. But this progression system is quite minimalistic in a good way. You see, the game is going for the atmospheric and oppressive vibe, hence survival horror elements. Yes, ammo is scarce and you can carry like 40 rounds tops for a submachine gun. That's like a mag and 10 rounds. That's awful. So needless to say, you're kind of a wimp in this game. But you do have a shovel. No, not the kind of shovel you can chuck at people's heads like in some other games, wink wink. Instead, you get this really small piece of shit that deals shit damage, and the animation for it is hilarious.
See what I mean?
You can also crouch. This triggers a half-baked stealth system. Yes, this game has a stealth system as well. It's barely even noticeable, so don't bother with it. So you get the detective work set in a small open world with survival horror elements of the Lovecraftian kind, coupled with shooty bang bang, and the progression system. Do you see now why this is interesting?
This dog mat looks better.
Now, due to the fact that the ammo and supplies are scarce, the game introduces a crafting system that I never mentioned so far because it doesn't really count as riveting gameplay, does it? What you're seeing in the background is probably the first case that you get in the game, right? I would consider this to be as little of a spoiler as possible. You don't really need to pay attention to what I'm doing. What I want you to pay attention to is this. This ability is called the Mind's Eye. This enables Charlie to see things that nobody else would. Glimpses of the past, apparitions providing directions when you need it, etc. In this state, you lose sanity. You can see this happening in the lower left hand corner, right between the HP bar and the brick. So the main gameplay loop is you get a case, you craft stuff to not die, you shoot stuff so they die. You gather clues to aid said investigation either via interrogation, finding various messages, deductions, or my favorite, rummaging through archives of various institutions around town, like the police or town hall. This first case does not involve archives, however. If you're curious, this is what they look like. Remember when I said this game has a lot of reused assets? Yeah, they all look the same. So you have to select 3 criteria based on the clue itself. You kind of have to select the clue first, otherwise even if you do select the right criteria, it's gonna say no. The combat system of the game is, well, take a look. Okay, we're not talking about that anymore. There are a few more things that I would like to touch upon regarding the world that are somewhat interconnected with the gameplay loop as well. First, remember the monkey boy? Yeah, there's a different kind of boy, namely fish boys. If you're thinking that they came to be due to their mothers copulating with eldritch sea monsters, you'd be absolutely correct. In true Lovecraftian fashion, these people are Innsmouthers.
Calm down.
You'll meet lots of these guys. Secondly, given the name of the game, parts of town are sunken beneath the waters of doom. I call them the Waters of Doom because even though you can swim, the game doesn't let you do it for too long as you'll get attacked by these things. This means you gotta use a boat to get around every now and again. I say a boat because all of them are the exact same model. Again, the game's budget shows its broken teeth. The boat's controls are kinda rigid, but you can accelerate, which is kind of nice. As I'm sure you've noticed, this game's graphics aren't anything to write home about, but its imagery is borderline grotesque. This is a good stylistic choice for the story it's trying to tell, but oddly enough, the game pulls a bit of a 180 in the diving sections. These are essentially the last gameplay element I'd like to mention. Basically a loading screen where you can move at blisteringly slow speeds, but the scenery and atmosphere make up for that tenfold. Take a look-see. Now, I know I've been relatively hard on this game, but that stuff comes from a place of love. Really. The budget of the game shows, and I can't really fault it for that, but some animations look silly. I've experienced a lot of glitches, none of them game-breaking though. Did these issues kill the game for me? Absolutely not. Apart from it being a huge step up for the developers, it combines interesting gameplay elements with a compelling story that warrants attention. The last chunk of the game is particularly good in my humble opinion. Not going to spoil that shit for you, don't worry. All in all, it's a nifty experience and the horror aspect is there. I was kinda jittery when I'd explore a ruin for the first time. The atmosphere is there, the gameplay is, well, it's good, but the execution, as previously stated, could have used more work. Granted, again, this is a B-rated title, so keep that in mind. The game is reasonably priced, you can pick it up for like $15. The only downside is that it's an Epic Store exclusive. For now. This is where my contribution ends. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a bit of a montage with all the glitches that I could find. Hope you find it enjoyable. Hell, I hope you found the entire video enjoyable. Please like, share, and subscribe, that sort of thing, right? Could use it. Don't at me. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for stopping by. Stay safe out there.